I normally try to have an interesting introduction for the lessons, but this time is tricky because it's an important lesson, but doesn't give me much to play with. So today we are just learning the numbers from 11 to 99. Hola, bienvenidos a Key Spanish. Soy Alejandro, and let's get started with one more lesson of Unit 2 of this course for beginners. Our goal is to describe the appearance and personality of our best friend. For that, we learned vocabulary around social relationships in the very first lesson, and to describe appearance and personality, we gave you the opportunity to have a listening comprehension activity in lesson 3 about couch surfing. And today, as we said, we're learning the numbers from 11 to 99. And I want to make 2 points here. The first one, make sure you are following the course in order. Watch the previous lessons. If you haven't already, there's a link to the playlist in the description. And second, that we need to learn things with the communication goal in mind. Most people will learn numbers from 0 to 1,000 the same day, or now you learn 11 to 99 and again the same day, the hundreds and the thousands and the millions. But that's too much. That's not scaffolding, that's not organizing the knowledge properly. And we need to ask ourselves, what are we using these contents for? Why are we learning in this lesson and in this unit numbers 11 to 99? Well, because these are relevant to express age, which is part of describing people, one of the main goals of this activity. So if you know to say that someone is 83, 24, or 50, it's useful to know the numbers. And we will learn the numbers from 100 to 500 to 1,000 when, for example, in the unit about food, we talk about grams of something. I need 300 grams of meat or 500 milliliters of something. So always ask yourself why you are learning a particular grammar or vocabulary. What does it allow you to communicate? Okay. So with that out of the way, let's get started with numbers 11 to 15. Well, we're going to categorize the numbers in different ways. In the first set, you just have to learn it by heart. Okay? Before that, can you remember 0 to 10 that we learned in one of the very first lessons of this course? Well, let me remind you quickly. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 y 10. Okay? Got it. So then you have 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 11, you can think of an ounce of something, 11. 12 with 2, 3, 13, 14. It's a bit intuitive, but not quite. And the most difficult one is 15. Students confuse 15 and 50 and 500 and 5, 515. These are confusing for them, but well. 15 is 50. After this is where it gets easier. For example, Sergio, a Spanish teacher, asked John, 10 y 6, so 10 and 6. 10 y 6, well, it's 16. So 17, 18, 19. You simply add the number 10, 10, and y, and the number 16, 17, 18, 19. Quite straightforward, right? Now the 20s are 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Again, quite intuitive. You just need to remember 20. It's not 2 y 1, like 10, 16, but you remember 20 and you just add 1 to 9. And this applies to all of them from 30 to 90. So you just need to remember that is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. And then you add y, 1, 2, 3. As opposed to 20, where it's written in one word, 21, 22. With the others, it's just separate words, 30, y 1, y 2, y 3. Let's look at the text as an example of someone describing his family. Let's see if you can follow along. María, mi madre, tiene 57 años y mi padre Isidro 62. Los dos viven en Badajoz. Mi hermana mayor, Margarita, tiene 32 años y su marido David, mi cuñado, 36. Mi primo Eduardo tiene 45 y está soltero, como yo. Okay? I'm going to focus on the meaning of the text too much. Just focus on the numbers 57, 57, 62, 62, 32 años, 32, 36, 36, 45, 45. Okay? Now, one thing to note when it comes to numbers, that's important. The number uno changes according to the gender of the noun. So if I say, mi padre tiene 51 años, 51 years old, so años is masculine, and therefore the uno shortens to un. Okay? So it's not 51 años, it's 51 años. With the feminine, you change to una. So Juan tiene 21 camisas, es demasiada ropa. Juan has 21 shirts, it's too much clothes, too many clothes. So 21, not 21 camisas, no 21 camisas. So remember from 11 to 15, you just memorized 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then it starts to make sense. 10 and 6, 10 and 5, 10 and 7, 10 and 8. So 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20, and the same, 21, 22, etc. And 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Y the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, y 9. Right? Okay, so let's practice. You might remember that John is a product manager at an office, and one of his very important tasks is to order more supplies. So he has to write down how many things they need at the office of each of these objects. Remember, in Kids Spanish, lazy people are not accepted. No seas vago. Don't be lazy. And participate with me. Try to say it out loud. Answer the questions. If you write them down, you pause, say it out loud, better. Okay? But do something. Use what you're learning. Otherwise, you lose it. So we have 40 cuadernos, 40 notebooks, 40 cuadernos. How many folders do they need at the office? 59 carpetas. 59 carpetas. ¿Cuántas botellas de agua? How many bottles of water? Pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go at a faster pace. 95 botellas. ¿Cuántas impresoras? 11 impresoras. ¿Cuántos teclados? Be very careful with this one. Think carefully about this one. 21 teclados. If you said 21 teclados, no, 21. As we said, the uno shortens to un when we have a masculine noun after. Let's continue. Sobres, envelopes. ¿Cuántos? 56 sobres. Necesitamos 56 sobres. ¿Y grapadoras? 62 grapadoras. What about tijeras? ¿Cuántas tijeras necesitamos? Again, think carefully. Y 71 tijeras. 71 tijeras, no 71. 71, 71. Tijeras is feminine now. And bolígrafos, 87. 87 bolígrafos. Y papeleras, ¿cuántas? How many? 18 papeleras. 18 papeleras. We're going to do one more activity to practice numbers from 11 to 99 in the context that we mentioned before, talking about age. And to do that, we have a special guest. Bueno, hola, Lailibet, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Qué
Vamos a
tal tú?
hacer, todo bien, vamos a hacer un ejercicio para adivinar la edad de algunos famosos, ¿vale? Tienes 3 oportunidades, a ver si sabes cuántos años tienen estas personas. Entonces,
Oh, ok.
tenemos a este hombre de la foto, ¿no? Joe Biden. ¿Cuántos años tiene Joe Biden?
Unos 79.
Casi, un poco más, un poco más.
82.
Menos,
Ah, 80.
80, muy bien.
Vale,
¿Eh?
vale,
Tiene
bien.
80 años, ¿sí? Vale.
Vale.
Y este joven, este chico, Justin Bieber, ¿cuántos años tiene?
Unos 32.
Mm, no, no, menos.
27.
Más.
28.
No, 29. Tiene 29.
Oh,
¿Eh? 29. ¿Vale?
vale.
¿Y Jennifer López, cuántos años tiene?
55.
Casi. Menos.
Am, 53.
Muy bien, eso es, 53 años.
Bien.
Me parece muy joven, ¿eh? Ajá. Y
Sí.
la última mujer, ¿cuántos
Oh,
años tiene Madonna?
mm, unos 70, tal vez.
Mm, menos. Algunos menos.
Em, 65.
Ok, casi, muy cerca. Un poquito menos.
Mm, 64.
64 años, muy bien.
Vale.
Perfecto, 64. Entonces, 80, 29, 53 y 64 años. Something important about the way we talk about age in Spanish is that it's different from English. We have years in Spanish, we are not old. So we say tengo 42 años. I'm 42 years old. No soy 42 años, that's wrong. Tengo 42 años. And when talking about rounding the age of someone, right, they are not sure, maybe you're going to say, oh, she's about 40 years old. You don't know if she's 37 or 43. Then you use unos. Tiene unos 40 años. Tiene unos 25 años. That's how you approximate the age of someone when you are not certain of the exact number. And that's it for this lesson on numbers 11 to 99. Make sure to practice. You can say the age of people. Think maybe it's not such a good idea to say it out loud in certain circumstances, but just try to think of what ages can you remember of people and write them down in Spanish, or look for other opportunities to practice numbers, especially from 0 to 100 with prices of things, maybe in the supermarket. Could be a good way of practicing too. But numbers are important. They are used in different situations, so make sure to pay attention to them and try to remember them. So that was it. If you are enjoying these lessons, in the next one we are continuing along this unit with more contents about family members, possessive adjectives, and many more. If you don't want to miss out any of those lessons, subscribe to our channel and also click the notification bell. Thank you so much for your attention. Soy Alejandro de Key Spanish y nos vemos en clase.